I'm fine. Fine, Mr. Webb. Mr. Webb, what sense could you make from a superstition like that?
Well, you see, on her wedding morning, a girl's head's apt to be full of clothes and one thing and another. Don't you think that's probably it?
Well, yeah. I guess I never thought of it.
A girl's apt to be a mite nervous on her wedding day.
See, I wish a man could get married without all that marching up and down.
Every man that's ever lived has felt that way about it, George, but it hasn't been any use. It's the women folk who've built up weddings, my boy. For a while now, the women have it all their own. A man looks pretty small at a wedding, George. All those good women standing shoulder to shoulder, making sure the knot's tied in a mighty public way.
But you believe in it, don't you, Mr. Webb?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't you misunderstand me, my boy. Marriage is a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. And don't you forget that, George.
Yes, sir. Mr. Webb, how old were you when you married Mrs. Webb?
Well, you see, I'd been to college and I'd taken a little time to get settled. But Mrs. Webb wasn't much older than what Emily is. Oh, age hasn't much to do with it, George, not compared with other things.
Well, what were you going to say, Mr. Webb?
Oh, I don't know. Was I going to say something? George, I was thinking the other night of some advice my father gave me when I got married. Charles, he said. Charles, start out early, showing who's boss, he said. Best thing to do is to give an order, even if it don't make sense, just so she'll learn to obey. And he said, if anything about your wife irritates you, or conversation, or anything, just get up and leave the house. That'll make it clear to her, he said. And, oh, yes, he said never. Never let your wife know how much money you had. Never.
Oh, Mr. Webb, I don't think
So I took the opposite of my father's advice, and I've been happy ever since. Let that be a lesson to you, George, not to ask advice on personal matters.